Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be titled Loser, because loser is a term that we hear all the time, when we're talking about other people, or sometimes we'll hear other people say it to other people, or, sometimes we'll hear it about ourselves. And I wanted to talk about that because usually when people refer to someone as a loser, it's because they do a certain action or they live their life a particular way, that other people don't approve of. Let's say usually when someone's called a loser, it's because, they like to sit in their basement or they like to sit in their apartment. I don't know, maybe they live with their parents, maybe they don't, but, they like to eat food all the time and play video games or watch movies or do whatever they want to do. They stay in their house and, they just like to watch movies, play video games, eat junk food or whatever. And some people would deem that person to be a loser, male or female. But I never understood that, because if that person's happy with their life, if they're getting everything out of life that they want to get out of life, then who's really the loser? Them or you saying that they're a loser, Because to them, they're probably winning in life, If they're doing what makes them happy, I don't understand that. Because, like I was just saying, if you're doing what makes you happy, how the hell are you a loser? I don't understand that. It's funny because other people will try to tell you what makes someone a winner or what makes someone a loser, Other people will try to make you live by their expectations of how you should live to be a winner, There are people that live their life in many different ways, and people, I think, would call them a loser, Maybe someone has bobbleheads, or they collect certain type of cards, or, some people like to collect posters or whatever it is, and people would call them a loser, Some people like to collect action figures and, collectibles and stuff like that, well into their 20s, 30s, 40s, some people have certain hobbies and, people are called losers for that. But again, who's really the loser? The person who's enjoying their life and enjoying their hobbies or whatever they're choosing to do, they're not hurting anybody, or the person that likes to pass judgment on other people and calling them losers, I just don't get that, man, because, I just don't understand that, I think it comes from, I'm pretty sure it comes from society, Society likes to tell people, how they should live. And I've talked about this, living by society standards and stuff. I said to stop doing that in that one rant. But yeah, that's really what it is. Society will tell you how they think that you should live, Society is like, yo, you got to get a job. You got to get a family, you got to get married. You have to get a house. You have to, work every day. You have to, in this fucked up, weird society, people are always pushing sex on you, telling you that you have to get laid a bunch of times or you're not a real man, or, you have to lose your virginity by this age. You have to do this. And, or I don't know, maybe women have the same thing. I'm not really sure. I'm talking from the, from the viewpoint as a male, but who knows what society wants women to do? I'm not sure. Probably the same thing, They want people to do all that stuff, and, and if you stray from that and you try to do something different, maybe you have a shitty job and, you work part-time at a Walmart, or you work part-time at a fast food restaurant, and when you're done, you just want to go home and eat junk food and play video games all night, and then you go to work, and maybe that's all you want out of life. And who the hell is somebody else to tell you that you're a loser because you do that, People can technically call you a loser for anything, Some people would call you a loser because you work fast food, I don't see that as being a loser because, one, at least they have a job, And two, we need people to do those kind of jobs, you know? If no one does those type of jobs, then we would have nobody to serve us at fast food restaurants. And fast food is a very common, thing, especially in first world countries like America. Fast food restaurants make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars a year because of all the people that eat there. So if we don't have anybody to work the fast food jobs or restaurants, then who the fuck is going to work them? So these people are good. Like, these people are essential workers. We need people working these jobs. So I don't understand the logic behind calling people losers who work jobs. I don't understand why working a job, regardless of what it is, it's a job, I don't understand that. And it all comes from society's bullshit and how, if you're not making like $100 a week or whatever the fuck it is, like $10 an hour, I don't know, like whatever set amount people think in their head makes them a winner. And if anyone else doesn't make it, they're a loser. I know minimum wage is different in every state, or it's different from what country you go to, but in some states they're making $15 an hour. And I think a lot of it has to do with the whole college thing. If you don't go to college, that also makes you a loser. People think if you don't have a house by a certain age, like I've said, it makes you a loser. And, there are people that don't go to college that make tons of money. There's jobs out there where people can make a pretty good, decent living, a comfortable living, and have a nice life, So it's just so funny because as a kid and as an adult now, I've always heard the loser thing. And, it's usually about people that just live their life the way they want to live their life. If they're not hurting anybody, like I've heard that term be used towards people that hurt people and do awful things or whatever. That's fine. Like that is kind of loserish. But if someone's just minding their own business and they just choose to live their life or do things in their life and other people don't agree with it, I don't understand why people call them a loser. Like I said, it's probably society, but probably it is society. But anyways, I'm going to leave this rant here. I've said enough, and I feel like I've made my point, and I don't want to make this rant too long. So anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rant. Setting out. Have a good one, guys.